Hello, aspirants, and welcome back to Rungta IAS Academy. Let's dive right in. Today, we are decoding a really fascinating, highly cross-disciplinary topic for your UPSC mains, and that is pyroprocessing. You know, mastering these overlapping topics is absolutely the secret to scoring exceptionally well across your different papers.
Right, so here's a quick look at our roadmap. We are going to cover what pyroprocessing actually is, its role in cement and carbon emissions, metallurgical extractions, and finally, nuclear reprocessing tech. And as you'll see, this maps perfectly to GS Paper 1 for industrial locations and GS Paper 3 for science, technology, and environment.
Okay, let's start with Section 1. What exactly is pyroprocessing? So here is your core definition to note down for your foundation. Pyroprocessing is basically a way to change a solid material, either physically or chemically, using very high temperatures. Notice that emphasis on physically or chemically. It's quite literally the industrial alchemy of heat. Exactly, and there are a few key characteristics you absolutely need to remember. First off, it's a completely dry process. Second, and this is crucial, it is highly energy intensive. The top 3 sectors utilizing this are cement making, metallurgy, and nuclear power. Now, aspirants, that energy intensive nature, that's exactly why this topic heavily dominates our GS3 decarbonization discussions. Moving right along to Section 2, let's look at cement and carbon emissions. So, the cement industry utilizes pyroprocessing more than literally any other sector out there. That makes it a prime example of a hard-to-abate industry. Just to understand the sheer industrial scale we're talking about here, picture a massive rotary kiln. We're talking about these gigantic, rust-colored horizontal tubes used in large cement plants. Once you grasp the massive physical scale of these kilns, the huge volume of resulting carbon emissions makes total sense. Let's quickly walk through the exact steps of that cement-making process. First, you feed finely ground raw materials, so things like limestone, clay, and iron, right into that rotary kiln. Then, as it heats up to 900 degrees Celsius, a critical chemical change happens. The limestone actually loses its carbon dioxide. Next, the heat gets pushed all the way up to 1450 degrees Celsius, where the mix partly melts to form these marble-sized nodules, which are called clinker. Finally, that clinker is ground down to produce the final cement. Aspirants, make sure you stress heavily on that 900-degree mark where the CO2 is actively released. That is a vital data point for your climate change answers. All right, Section 3, Metallurgical Extractions. Faculty pivot over to your GS Paper 1 Geography syllabus, specifically for mineral resources. In metallurgy, pyroprocessing is used to extract metals in multiple stages. First, you have roasting. That's heating sulfide ores, like zinc sulfide, in air to convert them into metal oxides. Second is smelting, which is melting an ore to separate the pure metal from the waste impurities, otherwise known as slag. And finally, calcining, which is simply heating limestone to yield lime. Having absolute conceptual clarity on these 3 terms is essential for both your prelims and mains. Which brings us to Section 4, Nuclear Reprocessing Tech. Now, over in the nuclear industry, pyroprocessing means something slightly different, utilizing some really advanced techniques developed back in the 80s and 90s. The procedure goes like this. Step 1. The used nuclear fuel is broken down into pieces. Step 2, those pieces are placed into a lithium and potassium chloride salt bath at 500 degrees Celsius or more. Step 3, an electric current is passed directly through that salt bath. And Step 4, the different elements separate out based on their unique electrochemical properties, and they are recovered in separate streams. You really want to memorize this exact electrochemical sequence for any GS3 science and technology questions regarding spent fuel. And to give your means answers that proper global context, you should note that this specific form of nuclear pyroprocessing is heavily studied in Japan, South Korea, and the US. It's part of their programs involving advanced fast reactors. Tying your answer directly to advanced fast reactors and mentioning these specific countries will undoubtedly fetch you those crucial extra marks. So, to wrap up today's explainer, we want to leave you with an analytical, interview-style question to ponder. Given its extreme energy intensity and the unavoidable CO2 release we talked about, how must industries that are entirely reliant on pyroprocessing evolve to meet our future climate goals? Take some time to deeply analyze this balance between industrial necessity and environmental sustainability. Keep your focus sharp, aspirants, and keep studying hard.